Luma and the River of Starlight. The night had deepened over the dream realm, and silence spread like a velvet cloak across the land. Stars scattered themselves generously across the heavens, brighter and fuller than on ordinary nights. The wind rested, the trees leaned into stillness, and even the rivers of earth hushed their currents, as though the world was waiting. Far beneath the towering star tree, in her den lined with glass jars filled with echoes of laughter and lanterns glowing with pale fireflies, Luma stirred from her rest. She was no ordinary fox. Her fur shimmered in gentle gradients of silver and indigo, like moonlight woven with threads of shadow. Her eyes reflected the sky above, carrying constellations within their depths. She was the Dreamkeeper of this realm, a quiet guardian who walked between the waking world and the boundless expanse of dreams. Tonight, as she raised her head, she noticed the constellations were different. They sparkled not only with calm radiance but with an unspoken urgency. Patterns shifted slightly, stars glimmered in subtle pulses, and she felt something stir inside her chest. The pull was gentle, but unmistakable, like the tug of an unseen current. Somewhere beyond the hills and meadows, something had awakened. It was the River of Starlight, a current said to appear only once in 1,000 nights. Legends whispered that it was not a river at all, but the flow of dreams themselves, winding between heavens and earth, carrying forgotten wishes and memories to their rest. Luma knew it was waiting for her. She rose without hesitation. Her paws touched the cool meadow, stirring dew that glimmered faintly blue under the moon. Each step she took left behind a faint spark, trailing in her wake until fading softly back into the grass. Above, owls perched high and branches turned their round, galaxy-filled eyes toward her. They did not hoot, but nodded, as though they already knew her destination. Fireflies drifted low to the ground, forming soft lanterns that marked her path. As she walked, the air grew cooler. The scent of night-blooming jasmine lingered, mingling with faint traces of rain. A glow rose faintly at the horizon, not like the silver of the moon or the gold of the dawn, but something deeper, more fluid, as though moonlight itself had spilled across the land. The glow shimmered with quiet rhythm, pulsing like a heartbeat, guiding her onward. When she crested the last hill, Luma saw it. The River of Starlight stretched before her, wide and endless, its current flowing not with water but with drifting stars. Silver light rippled in waves, carrying broken fragments of constellations that shimmered, dissolved, and reformed in eternal rhythm. The air was filled with a low hum, soft and soothing, vibrating in her very chest. The river called her closer. At the edge, Luma peered down. Her reflection shimmered on the surface, blending with drifting stars. When she dipped one paw into the glow, the surface quivered, and from the rippling light rose a small boat, woven of moonlit threads. Its sides shimmered faintly like woven lace, delicate yet strong. The boat rocked gently, waiting. Luma leapt gracefully inside. The boat steadied under her weight and began to drift, carried by the slow, glowing tide. The journey was hushed. On either side of the river, tall reeds swayed with blue fire at their tips, glowing like lanterns that bent politely as she passed. Above her, the heavens mirrored the river below, until she floated between two identical skies, one overhead, one beneath. Dream birds glided silently overhead, their wings translucent and misty. Occasionally, a falling star curved across the sky, leaving behind a ribbon of light that lingered for long, quiet moments. Luma curled into the boat, resting her head on her paws, eyes half-lidded, and watched as visions began to surface in the current. The river did not carry water, but memories. Dreams drifted past like glowing lanterns. A child laughing as they released a paper lantern into the summer sky. A weary traveler closing their eyes beneath the roots of a great tree. Two hands meeting, hesitant, trembling at first, before clasping firmly. Each vision glowed softly, then unraveled into silver sparks that dissolved into the current. She did not chase them, nor did she wonder whose memories they were. The river only carried what was ready to find peace. And she, as Dreamkeeper, was merely witness. Deeper she drifted, and the visions grew richer. Entire dreamscapes rose from the surface like gentle mirages. Fields of golden wheat swayed, each stalk tipped with glowing embers. Forests of crystalline trees stretched into the distance, their branches releasing chimes that rang in low harmony whenever the boat passed. Once, the current carried her through a tunnel of light where dreamfish swam in luminous schools, flickering in patterns like constellations. Another time, the boat glided through soft mists, where enormous shapes loomed, mountains made of cloud, drifting slowly as though carried by unseen winds. Luma gazed calmly at each sight, her breath slow, her body heavy with peace. Somewhere far away, a flute began to play. The sound was not of instrument or hand, but of the stars themselves. The melody wove through the air, endlessly looping, soft and tender. Luma's ears twitched, but she did not rise. Her breathing slowed to match its rhythm, and her body melted deeper into calm. She felt as though she herself was becoming part of the song, carried effortlessly by its endless flow. The current slowed at last, carrying her into a vast, round pool. Its surface swirled in lazy circles, glowing faintly brighter at the center. There, a single lily floated. Its petals glowed with tender light, opening and closing with the rhythm of breath. The fragrance it released was subtle yet soothing, like rain on warm earth. From within the lily's heart rose a spark, a dream seed. Luma rose, stepping lightly to the edge of the boat. She touched the seed gently with her nose. It pulsed once, twice, and then drifted upward, higher and higher, until it became a star. The heavens shifted slightly, making room, and a new constellation glowed faintly above. The pool sighed, as if in relief, and the current shifted again. The boat turned of its own accord and began to drift back. The reeds bowed in silence. The vision slowed. The dream birds vanished into mist. The world itself seemed to exhale, like a great sleeper settling deeper into rest. Luma remained still, her eyes half closed. Her body felt heavy, comfortably so, each ripple against the boat like a steady lullaby. The river carried her, and there was nothing more she needed to do. Time thinned until it barely existed. She felt herself drifting, thoughts dissolving into the rhythm of the current. The air around her grew warmer, as though the river itself were tucking her into a soft blanket. When the boat touched the grassy shore again, Luma stepped lightly onto solid ground. She turned back once. The River of Starlight shimmered faintly, then folded into the horizon, vanishing as though it had never been. Only silence remained, and the glow of her own star-tipped tail. She stood for a moment, listening. The hum of the river lingered inside her chest, steady as a heartbeat. She knew it would remain long after the current itself was gone. She turned toward home. The meadow stretched before her, softened by starlight. Owls still kept watch, their galaxy eyes unblinking. As she walked, her glow softened. Her paws grew lighter. Even the air seemed hushed, wrapping gently around her as though the dream realm itself wished her safe return. The grass swayed faintly at her passing, releasing scents of clover and wild mint. Fireflies drifted higher, rising into constellations of their own, as if honoring her journey. She paused at the crest of the final hill and glanced back one last time. The sky above had shifted. Among the constellations glowed the new star she had carried from the river. It pulsed faintly, steady and calm, a gift from the journey. As she watched, the star's light spread faint ripples across the heavens, as if sharing its calm with the whole sky. And then, with quiet steps, Luma slipped into the meadow's shadows, her form blending with the night until only faint sparks marked where she had walked. The land sighed into stillness, the heavens bright with their endless watch. So too, dreamer, may you rest now. Let the river of starlight carry your thoughts away. Let your breath follow its gentle rhythm. Let your body sink deeper into calm. The night holds you, just as it held Luma. You are safe. You are at peace. Sleep is here.